On this episode of Star Trek Universe, it's another classic watch rewatch. We meet an adversary so diabolical, he could teach children to control minds by pretending to use a shake weight. So powerful, Kirk knows his name despite it never being uttered. So charismatic, he can get away with wearing a floral-print trash bag, moo-moo. Effie and I get to partake in some good old-fashioned anti-hippie, pro-establishment rhetoric in Star Trek 305, and the children shall lead right after these words from our own friendly angels. On this episode of Star Trek Universe, it's another classic watch rewatch. We meet an adversary so diabolical, he could teach children to control minds by pretending to use a shake weight. So powerful, Kirk knows his name despite it never being uttered. So charismatic, he can get away with wearing a floral-print trash bag, moo-moo. Effie and I get to partake in some good old-fashioned anti-hippie, pro-establishment rhetoric in Star Trek 305, and the children shall lead right after these words from our own friendly angels.
Glad we got that out of the way. I think that covers it.
Yeah. Welcome into Star Trek Universe. This episode is, of course, as I said, part of the classic watch rewatch series where a haggard old Trekkie introduces a fresh young hopeful to the franchise. I am your haggard old Trekkie, David C. Robertson.
And I am the fresh young hopeful Effie Uphelders. I'm not sure how hopeful I am for season 3 at this point, but god damn it. This was a confusing watch.
Yeah. The Memory Alpha synopsis, a group of children on the Federation outpost Triacus, under the influence of an evil spirit, commandeer the Enterprise.
I love that even the synopsis is like, I guess it's a spirit? We're not doing aliens anymore. This isn't even sci-fi. What the fuck are we doing? It's some guy. I don't... Is it explained? I don't remember, honestly. No, like, it is one of those episodes that starts off, fine, creepy. The kids are fucking creepy. Stuff is like... There's a vibe. There's something fun, like, oh, something's going on. And then the resolution just blows all that to bits by not making narrative sense. How did we get here was the last 15 minutes of this experience.
Yeah, it's weird. It was really a weird episode, and I hate this episode.
Yeah, I get why. There is... and even the pacing is weird where they revealed the evil spirit quite early. It feels like, suddenly now we get the reveal-ish.
Yeah.
But we never get the explanation that you'd then expect for who the fuck is this guy? Where did he come from? Where did he go? None of that.
So look, I don't mind necessarily that there's not a grounded explanation. I
don't need it to be grounded. I just needed to be like, were you on that fucking planet already just hanging out? Was there a species of you? Were there more? What?
Well, remember...
Why are you doing this? And sure, we know his name at some point, suddenly. I don't know, I feel like I missed something. That's the vibe you continuously get. Oh, we needed to just show them that they liked their parents before they murdered them. And also... that's reality. I just figured at first that Kirk getting low enough in the elevator was the reason for, I'm out of range now. I'm no longer under the influence. Oh no, I'm immune now for God knows what reason.
Well, the best explanation we had was Spock explaining that there were like legends of like some sort of alien race or whatever, or pirates or something, and then like some kind of revenge ghost shit.
Fair enough.
And part of me likes... See, that's always like the kind of the drawback on a lot of Star Trek stuff. The worse the episode generally, the better the expanded universe shit is going to be. Like if you could find...
Oh, sure. Someone's going to fix this.
If you could find the book where they go deeper into Gorgan, the friendly angel, you're going to be like... They're going to be like, fuck, he was like a fucking Q, or he was some kind of alien species that like... He was Greg Cox, one of the great writers that should have been working on a Star Trek series, but just wound up being in books. He's always just like, he's the guy, man. Like, if you are looking for like, man, I want to find out more about this character. Where's he been outside of this? And then Q Continuum books. Oh, fuck, friendly angels hanging out with this creature and that creature and a young Q, and they're fucking messing with his mind and making him a dick for,
That's
like
fun.
all
That's
of
a fun
these
crossover,
like
sure.
godlike beings in the Star Trek universe who are just kind of dicks.
Yeah, there's a bunch of them.
So that's fun, but
I guess he wants to take over the universe by, having more kids at his disposal, but it's very much like, okay, did you just convince them what is your power? Like, you taught them some powers that apparently you need some corporeal being for. But also he has to show up when they sing the thingy, but God, it's weird, man.
yeah, I don't know.
There's so much, and yet,
yeah,
there's a lot going on, and at the same time, they just resolve it in such a weird
it's weird.
way.
It's like, it's a strange, mixture of what we're going through today. Like, the children are prey to Moloch, and then Donald Trump shows up. I'm the friendliest
Our pre-show
angel.
conversation was indeed a weird.
You've never met an angel friendlier than me. Everyone says so. Everyone says, Gorgon, the friendliest angel.
Oh Lord, yeah, it works. Oh.
Yeah. So I think this episode, it feels like this was intended to like paint the strong voices of the hippie movement as evil, as like evil cult leaders, maybe aimed at corrupting youth and subverting traditional values, maybe.
Yeah, and if anything has ever undercut a movement, it's infantilizing them to the point of being like, nah, you 18-year-old idealists, you're fucking 10 years old in your mind, you're just being corrupted by all these, I don't know, old white guys who want you to smoke weed instead of being slaves to the fucking capitalist system. I don't know, man. It's a bit contrived. I don't know.
Friendly Angel definitely seemed like some kind of a hippie name. And he was wearing a moo-moo that had flowers all over it. Now look,
that's some flower power.
When they shot this, they did not know they were going to be putting all of that glowy shit all over him. Like, Gene Roddenberry looked at it and was just like, this is bullshit and looks terrible. Put like a fucking green glow on him so that he looks more ethereal or something.
Yeah, fair enough. Good call, I guess.
So I absolutely think this was like, there had been a lot of riots in 1968. Martin Luther King and Jr. and Robert Kennedy had just been assassinated. Like, they just wanted to be like, hey, being a fucking hippie, and your kids are gonna, kill you because they don't like your fucking old man rules. And see, just
I feel like something's missing there,
dude. I'm like, look at like when Chapel goes, like, oh, you don't want to eat too much ice cream, you'll spoil your dinner, and then like the oldest kid goes, see, they all say it. Like, what the fuck, dude? They gonna start killing like.
Yeah, it is very much anti-adult sentiment where it's like, okay, but that's a reasonable thing. It is that's the infantilization I'm talking about. If you want to extend that to like real life hippie shit versus established status quo, then you're just the old man waving at cloud being like, oh, fuck you for disagreeing with my long held beliefs that society should be painful and boring and unequal and deeply unfair, and let's all of this works for me, the old white man, so I should keep this going, right? You should agree, young white man.
Well, anyway, see, just the fact that the rule that they like, the thing that Nurse Chapel was telling them no about, the extra ice cream will spoil your dinner, and that turned those fucking kids on her. Like, that is that's the conservative straw man argument. That's
Absolutely.
like, oh shit.
That's just why I'm not sympathetic to the fucking argument.
No, well, I mean, it's just like
you're being a dick. You're just being a dick.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's not what you're saying. You're saying you never got ice cream and you should be happy we're not giving you dinner either.
Yeah.
Just go work for your dinner. You're 12 now. Like, that's, what are we?
So yeah, I feel like Roddenberry, like Freeburger, like he inherited this script, and
sure,
we had just like in February of '68, there were 3 university students who had been shot by law enforcement officials.
Oh,
at Orangeburg in South Carolina, and Roddenberry was a former cop, and he agreed with the cops. He didn't like how the protest.
Of course, you gotta shoot some students, man.
Yeah.
That's always justified.
He didn't like how hippies and the protesters were like clashing with the police, and like, yeah, dude, like
those violent hippies, man. Oof.
He was a military guy. He was a military guy and a police officer, a former police officer. So,
and that's everything wrong with. That's what you get. This kind of shit, I guess.
So this was Roddenberry being like, again, like,
those children shall not lead.
Right?
How dare they try to lead? We die first. Yes, you die first because you're old and wrong. Jesus.
I mean, and also, and the children shall lead is directly out of the Bible. Like, they are really trying to hit home with the Christian conservatives. Like, yep, if we let these fucking friendly angels teach our children so-called peace
and love and like non-violence, that will end in violence.
Even
because of us.
Don't
say that last bit.
Even a reasonable statement like more ice cream will spoil your dinner will make them kill us.
Of course, because that's what the leftists are known for.
Yeah.
Eating
ice cream and killing their parents.
And then someone will bring in Stalin and no one will listen to you when you try to explain the difference between an economic system and authoritarianism. Anyway.
Mm-hmm. So anyway, interesting. I'm sure somebody out there is going to get mad and not listen to the show anymore.
Probably. But to them, I say, if you actually look, you can find that socialism has worked throughout history a couple of times. Yeah. When y'all in the U.S. didn't actually immediately overthrow the regime.
Yeah.
It works. Just mentioning that for the people who are like, Soviet Russia is the only example and it didn't work. Meh.
Well, you know what? This time, I think the people who would get mad are the super leftist Star Trek fans who can't deal mentally with the fact that Roddenberry was pretty fucking
not
conservative,
progressive.
At times.
Yeah,
like he definitely like in the 70s when he realized who was like glomming onto his shit, he was like, "Oh, well, I like money, so I'm progressive." But
I have been a believer from day one. That is fair enough. Yeah, that seems like the guy. Jesus. I mean, if you're an apologist for that guy, I guess go for it. But I figured we've been over enough racism, sexism, weirdo, like implied homophobia. We'll get to that next time. Like there's so many things.
Where was that one?
We'll get to that next episode.
Okay.
But,
Okay.
There's just so many things where you're like, no, this is not a very progressive show. It's in parts progressive, trying to at least have the optics of representation. We gave Uhura something to do in some episodes, stuff like that. It's fine, but it's not radical. We're not, decades and decades ahead. We're still, gonna shake our fist at the angry hippies and their clouds of weed smoke.
Yeah, and it's interesting though. Like, it's very progressive in certain ways, and certainly radical in certain other ways. But then, like, it also like I feel like Star Trek the show
has plenty of blind spots. That's just the thing. Where it's like it's both of its time and trying to look ahead a bit, and it does that very well in spots. It's just not a universal statement to be like, oh, this is a very progressive show in every aspect, because it's just not. And there's too many people working on it for there to be anything you can say about every episode. There's always going to be the one where you're like, well, I guess that one wasn't very progressive. No. And there are plenty where you're like, yeah, that one isn't equally old man conservative. What is wrong with you either? Like that, of course. It's not either.
Yeah. I do stand behind the idea that Star Trek was always woke.
Oh, yeah.
For its time.
Exactly. It wasn't 2025 woke. Like, ugh.
No, it wasn't that.
It wasn't even 2015 woke.
Yeah, no.
Before the culture war was won by the right-wing assholes.
Right. But you know what? I also stand by the idea that people take Star Trek too seriously.
Of course. That's the reverence part where that leads you to be like, oh, Roddenberry could do no wrong. He was so ahead of his time. Like that's the sort of reverence where you're like, no, you're not looking at the real thing anymore.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, there is an idealism in there, but it didn't always reach those ideals. It just sort of strove towards them sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
that's how it works.
You get these people who are like, I mean, Roddenberry was certainly, he was not perfect. He was a man of some faults. And I'm like,
dude,
he fucking came dangerously close to raping Grace Lee Whitney and then fired her when she refused his advances. I don't know how to sugarcoat that in a way that makes me feel good at night. What the fuck are you talking about?
Exactly. It's like he wasn't perfect is just somehow code for, oh no, he's actively terrible, like way worse than average.
Yeah.
Because you can't just say a bad thing full-throatedly. Like, say it with your chest, man. Just say you're okay with him being a creep.
Yeah.
To whatever extent the person you're talking about is incredibly fucking creepy. Like, it's always bad shit.
And I'm not... Look, it's this...
Somehow people don't say that when someone's actually... not quite perfect, you know?
Yeah, and I mean, and now we're sadly in a position where it's like we have to talk about Joss Whedon in much the same way as we talk about Roddenberry, where it's like, yes, had some great ideas, did some great things, did some very...
Sure, you can write a decent story and still be a dick.
And well, also, like, pushed feminism.
I mean, he's a fine director, probably, yeah.
Pushed feminism in certain ways and was like, very inclusive in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
And really,
I still see Willow clips every so often where I'm like, hey, the gays are still into this.
But,
cool.
If you're just like, oh, well, I mean, Joss was a visionary, and I mean, yes, there were some issues. Like, he was actively using his
that's just apologizing for him.
Actively using his fucking power to cheat on his wife and sleep with young women. That was under his employ. Fuck him.
Yeah.
Fuck him forever.
Gross. Just gross.
So, Anyway.
Yeah. Fuck him forever and let's elect him president, I guess.
No.
Makes him qualified, right?
No.
That's not how your politics works? I get a different view from here.
That's not how I want them to work.
Oh, fair. I'm not saying I want that to happen.
All right. So what level of mind control is there in this episode? Like, why doesn't it work on Scotty or Kirk? I mean, it does on Scotty to some degree.
Yeah.
But then it doesn't. And Kirk, it kind of seems like it does. And then...
And then it doesn't because he realizes he's still actually captain, which is kind of implied with, I'm going to lose control of command. Like, if I'm going to lose command, I have it now. Like,
are we coming back to Kirk's love of the Enterprise?
I guess that's that seems to be the point, apparently. But also, there's two layers of brainwashing, because there's Gorgon being like influencing the kids, and then there's the kids straight up taking over your body and being like, this is what you think is reality now. And those seem to be different skills, but also, like, I assume it's not just Gorgon coming up to them and being like, hey, your parents would never give you as much ice cream as I would, murder them, and them actually believing that without there being the same sort of influence that warps their reality. because they don't seem to notice or give a shit that they are burying them.
Right. And, it's interesting, though. Like, they did have some... Even when the show is really fucking bad, like this, they have snippets of interesting psychology. Like, the kids are like...
Sure.
They're like, why aren't these kids mourning their parents? And, you have the kids saying like stuff like, well, they didn't really care about us. They only cared about their work. Like there's some like, they didn't want to come to this boring planet. Their parents don't care about anything but work. They took them away from their friends. Like there's all this like interesting psychology of like how
there are some reasonings like teased for them believing in that. But at the same time, like it's also, there's also inconsistent psychology where it's like they start off with, they might be dissociating because they don't want to acknowledge the reality of their parents being dead. But then we have to have McCoy be very insistent that we could damage the kids if we somehow traumatize them further or remind them of blah, blah, blah. And what ends up being the solution? We re-traumatize them and actually get through to them that this is real and you have to face it. So... Why didn't we do that sooner? I don't know, man.
It was like they had to realize that they were being controlled by something, and that this being was using, these like slivers of feelings within these children to bring them to that plateau of compliance.
Yeah, just enlarge those aspects and make them forget the good shit about having loving parents. Let's assume there weren't any abusive ass parents for simplicity's sake.
Yeah. And I guess that the point was that like it's easier to control the children and to get in their heads than it is the adults. That's why the adults all kind of resist, kind of.
We just get fucking anxious.
As long as
which is just the default state for adulthood, really. So
it's like the adults clearly, like, I don't know, not so clearly, but it seems like the adults, like when they didn't know what was happening, they follow blindly, but then once they're like, oh shit, no, this is there's a kid over there making a really obscene gesture, and he's looking at me weird. I'm pretty sure he's mind controlling me because this doesn't make any fucking sense. They can kind of resist it. I don't know. I hate this episode.
The problem is there are no rules. There's just vibes.
Right.
To such an extent that you're like, I guess I must have missed a couple scenes, whatever. I need to go with this if I want to actually give a shit. And you don't give a shit.
You don't.
I mean, I appreciate that they had Aurora in a lot of makeup for a bit, and it was creepy, but also you could have just had her act, I guess. It didn't matter that much. Like, the dialogue was creepier than what she saw, so I don't know.
Yeah.
I saw my death is way more visceral than I saw myself really old and wrinkly.
Which would be the second time they've done that to her, by the way.
Oh, of course, they had it lying around, probably. I don't know. Is it the same look? I don't
know. No, I saw myself old.
Yes, I am a woman. My worst fear is being less attractive and aging. Oy, oy. Yeah, that's how it works. I can confirm it's the worst thing around, clearly.
I hated that weird...
so much hotter 2 minutes ago. It's unbelievable.
I hated that weird UFP flag, the United Federation of Planets flag, was awful.
Like, when I started the episode, I was like, I want to bring that up, because clearly this is the first time we've seen a logo, I guess, in a weirdly shaped flag thingy.
Yeah.
Sure. And then
it's not, but they use
I
like
forgot
the UN.
all about it.
In a previous episode, they used like the UN symbol for the United Federation of Planets, something like that.
Oh, just the globe thingy.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Yeah. Okay. I clearly don't remember that being specific to. Yeah. Oh. Well, this one was weirder, I guess.
Yeah, this one looked like it belonged at like the cheap miniature golf course in the bad part of town.
Yeah, there's a reason it fell over like real easily. It was just like that. That's not even. That's just use a flagpole, please.
Yeah,
at least
they made that
a broomstick, just something.
They had
something sturdy.
They had instance making that with felt in the Sunday school class. Like this fucking looks awful.
That makes sense. But also, why would the Intergalactic Federation of Planets? Why would you have that in our fucking alphabet? Why not a symbol, indeed?
Oh, that's, That's just the thing.
There are versions, I'm sure.
No,
they have
you know
theirs.
what?
Or did we just impose our Latin alphabet on the fucking galaxy? That would also
that
be
makes
very
sense,
us.
doesn't it?
It does. It does sound.
You
like
are speaking
what
English.
Would do. We all should speak English.
You are in the Netherlands and you're speaking English.
Well, that's because if I started speaking Dutch, you would have immense trouble trying to understand me because y'all don't learn languages over there.
Nah, we don't.
Donde está la biblioteca? And that's about it.
Yeah. I'm like, hey, I know that one. Oh, wait.
That's because it's all you know. Yeah. It's not Dutch. I'll give you that one for free.
Yeah. Well, you know what's interesting is and kind of funny is in a lot of the extended universe, they novels and stuff from the the 80s, they'll refer to things like Federation English.
That's good.
Now, what I how I interpret it, and many of us interpret it, is you're going to see what, it's the universal translator working for us, the audience. So we just see.
Yeah, no, we see that next episode where I'm like, that's how you communicate. That's what I always assume.
Yeah.
But as soon as you put it in script, I'm like, is there a visual fucking translator that makes me see the flag that way? Or are we just going to ignore that?
Well, I will say the Federation is, or the Starfleet Academy at the very least, is stationed on Earth. So, whatever. It's a pretty big, like, Earth was one of the founding planets, one of the founding planets for the Federation. So, I don't know why it's such a big deal.
I mean, it happened to work out that English, caught on as a lingua franca, but also, I mean, if you wanted to be progressive, you could have gone with what's the made up language that works for everyone? I forgot.
Oh hell, I don't know.
It was a thing back in the day. I'll remember after the show probably.
It's just easiest if you imagine you have a thing in your head that translates it for you.
So much easier than learning a language, really. Yeah.
I mean, for a fictional universe, it's easier to just be like, "Yep, Universal Translator tells us that this is the UFP."
Esperanto. Anyway,
Esperanto. That is what it was.
Yeah, I got there in the end.
My head was
like some
Pig
Indo-European. God damn it! What was it called? Esperanto. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. I don't know why they're burying those people there. That's weird.
It's the best place, we're here, might as well do it.
Yeah. Take their bodies home, whatever.
No, this is home. They were settled here. If you take them up to the ship, they're just going to end up in the oven, I guess. I don't know how it works up in the Enterprise, but...
Jesus. Why would it be the oven?
Come on. Because,
fuck?
My Jewish heritage commands me to every so often make a joke about the Shoah. It's just how it works.
Yeah, all right, well... I didn't feel comfortable with
There's a reason I don't want to be cremated. Let's put it that way. Nobody put me in an oven, god damn it. How dare you?
All right, so let's look at some quotes here. I did like this one. Humans do have an amazing capacity for believing what they choose and excluding that which is painful.
Yeah. That was when I was still sort of on board with the episode.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, but that is a thing, and that's correct, because there are ways of repressing that make you just realize years later, oh wait, I did murder my parents on that planet. And that's just the plasticity of a child's brain, It's impressive. Yeah. It's a survival mechanism. Fuck yeah.
And then they'll be like, yeah, but that creep in the moo-moo made me do it. That guy was wearing a...
That's what you tell yourself, yeah.
Yeah, it was...
Sure, buddy.
It was the guy in the floral trash bag.
Yeah, it definitely wasn't the weird psycho with the red hair that convinced all his friends to just get together and shake their fists like.
Well, he was controlled too.
Rock, paper, scissors.
Yeah, I would love to. I'd love to have like a
rock, paper, scissors, death.
I would love to have like sort of an it story where as it didn't seem like the friendly angel was dead at the end of this movie, this episode. It seemed like he was just like, I'm defeated, and look how you can see how ugly I truly am.
Oh no!
And I'm like, wait, this was the attractive form you chose?
This was the hot guy? He appeared normal.
I reached into the human minds and decided that it would be best to look like 1960s defense attorney Melvin Belly.
Have you seen It, Welcome to Derry, by the way?
I have not watched it. I've read the original It book.
I know. That's why you should get to it. It's fun.
Yeah, it's on my list. It's on my list.
Good.
I loved this one. Evil does seek to maintain power by suppressing the truth or by misleading the innocent.
The fuck's the difference? It feels like I need the second line and make it sound more sinister than the first. I don't know. The point stands. It's just, if you said suppressing the truth, I already got that you meant that the children were, like, it feels like an unnecessary bridge in that moment to, the children are being misled. And I couldn't. But yeah, it is an easy way of maintaining power is obfuscating what is true. And a good way of doing that is just undermining the entire concept of a shared reality. Yeah. Let's not get political again.
I liked the tag of that line. I liked by misleading the innocent, because that does try to at least attempt to explain the fact that in universe, that's why the friendly angel was utilizing the children and not the adults, because it's easier to mislead the innocent to obfuscate and suppress the truth. Now,
I suppose, but it's also, I don't know, that feels just obvious enough to me. Maybe it wasn't as much of a trope at the time, but I immediately just get like, of course you're gonna use the kids. They're more pliable. You can influence them easier. They're kids. Everyone, it makes sense, you know.
But as I mentioned earlier,
that's the thing in the episodes where I usually feel like, okay, y'all are really slow on the uptake. Kirk, are you dumb? Kirk, hurry the fuck up, getting to the conclusion I had 5 minutes ago. Like, god damn it.
Yeah.
They tend to take their time actually taking action on the thoughts they have real late into the situation, where I'm like, you don't, like, sometimes it seems like they're trying to fill up time, and sometimes I'm just like, no, you're trying to do too much in this time. Why did you waste all that time in the beginning? And that's we'll get more into that next episode. But Jesus, in this one, it's more on the trying to stretch out and fill those fucking minutes. But still, it's just, God, you could have filled it up with something more substantial than, but what could be the problem? The enemy from within? The fucking kids. Get to it. I don't know. I get impatient when an episode is bad, I guess.
Yeah.
Because at that point, I'm like, I am trying to root for characters that are just actively trying to convince me they're stupid. Yeah. And that's hard.
Yeah. I'm like, the whole episode, I'm like, do y'all not see this kid over here, like, pounding his fist in the air and looking angry, like nobody sees this?
Being a creep? Like, are you not paying attention? Yeah. That's sort of the feeling, the frustration I have sometimes.
But you know, that line though, like that whole line though, is or by misleading the innocent. That whole line is, once again, going back to what I was saying earlier, is like they are hitting something very like this idea that the hippie movement is really trying to mislead your youth. Right.
They're just misinformed. If only they knew the truth of not having ice cream before dinner, then they would never be anti-war, I guess.
Yeah.
And they're so innocent, still believing in peace. It's they have to wake up to the real world and, you know, fight those proxy wars.
Yeah. It's the John Birch Society.
God damn it, the commies will come for us.
Yeah. All right, let's talk about some trivia for this episode. This episode borrows elements and concepts from several sources. We got the Gorgons from Greek mythology. We got stuff from the Old Testament, puritanical colonial witchery.
Sure.
Similar to Charlie X a little bit.
Yeah, in a sense. Also, I mean, the name, I guess, comes from Gorgons, but also, is there really a similarity in concept? I don't know.
Well, I did write down this. I did find this. The Gorgons were 3 fearsome sisters, born to the sea deities, Forsyth and Seto. They dwelled near their sisters and possessed the terrifying ability to turn anyone who met their gaze into stone. They're like Medusa.
Yeah, Medusa is one of them, yeah.
Yeah. So they were described as dreadful beings with petrifying eyes. The severed head of a Gorgon, most famously Medusa's, was mounted on Athena's Aegis? Is that how you said that? Where it served both... Huh?
The shield.
Where it served both as a powerful protective symbol and a source of overwhelming fear to her enemies. Gorgon blood was also believed to hold dual properties capable of both healing and deadly harm.
Yes, Pegasus and all that.
Yeah. Now, I mean, now we saw that, like, some of the depictions of the Gorgons had wings like an angel. So
some of them,
maybe that's where they pulled that from.
I guess, but also wings are, at that point, you gotta think angels way before Gorgons.
Now,
but fair enough.
What's weird? What's weird to me is he's
so ugly he turns himself into stone. Is that the thing?
You got Fred Freeberger, who has famously looked at Star Trek. He just took over. He's famously looked at Star Trek and said, "I get it. It's tits in space."
Right. Yeah.
Then you have fucking Roddenberry, who is nothing but a lech. And you turn around, you my God, the Gorgons. You got to name them Gorgon. The Gorgons in Greek mythology were always depicted as strikingly beautiful young women.
Until they turned ugly. Yeah.
How the hell did we get to this guy?
I don't know. It should have been tits in space. It should have been a warm, motherly, hot figure. Sure.
Yeah.
You could have done tits in space, and you didn't. Would it have made the episode considerably better? But it would have made slightly more sense. Sure.
Well, it would have made it at least visually better.
Sure. Yeah, but then they wouldn't have given us the green glow, because they just would have been like, "Oh, that looks great." Fuck
but if they found a lady who could act,
that would help. Sure.
Because this guy was not even an actor. We'll talk about that now.
Oh God. Well, that explains some things.
Yeah, I've already made reference to it.
He wasn't given a lot. Fair enough. But
all right. So like I mentioned before, the title is taken from the book of Isaiah in the Old Testament. The wolf also shall dwell with the lamb, and the leopard shall lie down with the kid, and the calf, and the young lion, and the fatling together, and a little child shall lead them. So it's a reference to the Bible there. Trying to get that conservative Christian audience.
Exactly. We'll look into that quote some other time on our Bible podcast.
I will not.
I haven't shown up to work on that podcast for years, but I'm sure someone has looked into the biblical meanings at some point.
No,
exegesis is a fairly new concept, but someone has done a podcast, I'm sure.
As I mentioned earlier, again, it is never explained how Kirk knew to refer to the friendly angel as Gorgon, based on early drafts of the script, and in a bit of a sloppy editing, episode writer Edward J. Laxo alternated between the various names, explaining why it appeared and stuck so late in the episode. A deleted scene had revealed that Tommy did tell Kirk the name. However, this scene took place in the script after Kirk had used the name.
Well, that helps.
Yeah.
Not at all. Oh, delightful.
Now, the idea to cast noted attorney Melvin Belly. Melvin Belly. My fucking dyslexia kicking in there.
That was delightful. He deserves that.
Noted attorney,
I'm sure.
Yeah. Noted attorney Melvin Belly as Gorgon came when his son, Caesar Belly, was cast as Steve. His son is one of the kids.
But which kid? Which kid was Steve?
The short, dark-haired kid.
Oh, that one, sure. Okay.
Who was not Asian.
I figured he wasn't.
I mean, he could have been adopted.
I didn't pay attention that closely, but no, I just saw him as a white kid. Why would I see him as not a white kid?
Well, because I said the short, dark-haired kid, and I was like, well, wait, there was another kid who was Asian.
No. Sorry. For the audience, there are two, but I looked at the picture on Memory Alpha at the same time, hovering over the Steve link.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
Yeah. No, I was like, oh, that one. But he was in a lot more shots, I feel, than the Asian kid. Yeah, sure.
So Producer Fred Freeberger hoped that the presence of Belly would boost ratings. This plan failed, as Freeberger realized it would have been more appropriate to cast an actor.
Well, I'm glad
in the
he
role.
realized at some point.
Yeah. Ron Beer was also pissed about that. Melvin Belly. So among his many legal accomplishments he defended Jack Ruby, the man who murdered Lee Harvey Oswald, and numerous refinements to personal injury litigation. He was an ambulance chaser, including he's responsible for day in the life films designed to graphically demonstrate the impact of injuries on their victims. He was also the defense attorney of Mick Jagger and the Rolling Stones. Belly also appeared in the 1970 documentary Give Me Shelter, which dealt with the disastrous Altamont Free concert and its aftermath. In 1954, his accomplishments led Life magazine to dub him the King of Torts. He had a peripheral role in the investigation of the fucking Zodiac Killer, which took place in the San Francisco area between 1969 and 1973, and he was portrayed by Brian Cox in David Fincher's 2007 film Zodiac.
God damn it. He didn't get to play himself after his acting debut here?
I know.
So
well, he would have
weird.
been so much older. I think maybe even dead.
Fair.
By the way, though, I wonder, like, because I don't know exactly what they did to make that friendly Gorgon or friendly angel outfit, but part of me did wonder if there was like a subtle jab at cross-dressers there as well, because it was a floral pattern.
It is a dress, I guess, but it's also not obviously feminine enough. But I guess they wouldn't have gotten away with that because, well, the attorney would have complained.
Maybe.
But I don't know. It didn't strike me as such, but there is something effeminate about it. But at the same time, because they threw so much green shit over it, you barely noticed, really. I was just like, this is some sort of toga dress thingy, whatever. It wasn't that coded as femininity to me.
Yeah. When I was a kid,
just coded as angel shit.
When I was a kid and I watched this episode on our, standard def, there was no high def, antenna TV, I couldn't even tell who it was. Of
course not.
I thought it was fucking Skipper from Gilligan's Island. I really did. And my parents were like, that's not Skipper.
Are we sure that wasn't the same attorney?
Yeah, no. I was like, yeah, it's Skipper. And my parents were like, it's not Skipper. And hilariously, though, when my youngest sister was little, she didn't think it was Skipper. Who did she think it was? I can't remember now. I just had it in my head a second ago. Jonathan Winters. That's who she thought it was. She thought it was Jonathan Winters.
And I should have to Google that probably.
Yeah.
Who the fuck is this?
Just a comedian from back in the day.
Oh, a comedian. Okay, sure. Some other guy. This one's for the audience.
Yeah. Leonard Nimoy said, when we were doing the script, maybe one of our worst ever, with the kids in the third season, and the children shall lead. I thought it was terrible. Terrible. So I went to Fred Freeberger and I said, well, we've got some problems with the script. He said, this script is going to be what Miri should have been. Well, Miri was a lovely story, beautifully told and beautifully played. And we had all loved Miri as an episode. And he was saying that Miri was a piece of trash. There's no communication. That's when death starts to set in.
Fair enough.
Isn't that just depressing?
Yeah, that's sad. That's, how did Miri end again? It's been a while.
I mean, they figured out how to stop the thing and the disease, and I think they relocated those kids probably somewhere, I imagine.
Yeah.
If I recall.
It's a very, very different sort of kids thing, I guess. I don't know.
Bonk on the head, motherfucker.
It works.
Yeah.
Oh, boy. Yeah, no, this, I think it's safe to say this wasn't what Miri should have been.
No. Also, what's wrong with Miri? I liked Miri.
Yeah, Miri was fine.
Brian Tachi is one of the very few actors, along with Phil and Iona Morris in Miri, and Clint Howard in the Corbomite Maneuver, who appeared in TOS as a child and was later cast in one of the new series or movies. He appeared as Ensign Lin in TNG Night Terrors. I remember his character, too.
That's cool. I like that.
Yeah.
Just you showed up to set as a kid and then you get to be in the universe again. That's just lovely as a person.
Yeah.
Good for you.
All 8 major regular performers of the second and third seasons, Kirk, Spock, McCoy, Scotty, Sulu, Uhura, Chapel, and Chekhov appear in this episode. It's kind of a big deal.
Yeah, I was about to say, no one was missing.
Yeah. By the way, like everybody, the only scene, you would think that it happened more, but the only scene where everyone was seen in one shot together was like one shot in Star Trek 4.
Yeah, you've mentioned that before. I think I've seen that one, or I've just happened to stumble on it. But yeah, it's because you have those same angles always. You have the corner with Scott, or or you have Sulu and God damn it, why am I not Chekhov? Thank you, Jesus. Or you have the Spock Uhura corner, but you there are just a couple that alternate, and you never put them in one space because it would look really tight.
Yeah, but I mean,
it makes sense.
Yeah,
they're in the same scene slightly more often, but they're not on screen at the same time all that often.
Yeah, the one on Star Trek 4, I borderline wonder if it was a mistake, if it was just a happy accident.
Whoopsie.
Because it was like the main cast, as we know, like coming out, and then like Janice Rand behind them in a seating.
Oh, right.
And you're like,
it just happened to work out that way.
Yeah, like Chapel and Rand are like over here in the background, and you're like, oh shit,
they're there.
Finally, it's all of them together.
That's fun.
So let's see. This episode is the first appearance of the set piece depicting the entrance to the Gorgon's cave. It would be seen again in many third season episodes, including Spock's brain, the Cloud Minders,
that's the same cave, of course.
All Our Yesterdays, and That Which Survives.
There's a list. God damn it. Okay, I'll remember that. I guess.
Oh,
the planet is pretty damn similar.
Wait till TNG era. They had literally a set that they called Planet Hell.
Oh, fuck off.
And it was just like slightly differently lit. The same caves.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
We'll make it slightly more pink this time. We'll stand on the opposite side of the hull. Woohoo!
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Looking forward to that.
They even made fun of it in a Lower Decks episode where they're like trapped in a cave, and they do like, it's basically a clip show, but of episodes we've never seen before, and
of course,
but all of them are like them being stuck in different caves that look almost exactly the same.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. That's good.
All right.
Lower Decks is going to be fun.
Oh,
in
so
like
good.
8 years.
Yeah. Let's see. The Arboretum set was originally built for Elan of Troyes, but became a deleted scene due to time constraints. It was later modified for the Arboretum that appeared in Is There in Truth No Beauty? During one scene on the bridge, Kirk tries to give orders to Leslie, but his words are garbled. If the audio for this scene is played in reverse, Kirk can be heard to say, remove Lieutenant Uhura and Mr. Spock from the bridge. Confine them to quarters. Did you hear me? Take Mr. Sulu to his quarters. He's relieved of duty. Remove Lieutenant Uhura and Mr. Spock from the bridge. Confine them to quarters. Take Mr. Sulu to his quarters, I said. Mr. Spock from the bridge. Confine them to his quarters. It was like they were really giving him the real dialogue.
Yeah, which is good that he wasn't saying just anything. But you can, because you could tell like, oh, this is reversed, but also it's just that sort of garbling is just good enough to still make out snippets of words you recognize somehow, where you're like, oh, he is talking about Sulu or Spock or something. Yeah. And that was fun. That was well done. I like that.
Of course, I always like stuff where like you ungarble it and it's really the actor saying like, go over to the craft table and get me a bagel. I said go get me a bagel.
Also fun. Also very fun. What was I saying? I also really enjoyed that sort of ungarbling just in general. I watch too much Gravity Falls, and there's like tons of those little things in there. And thankfully, other people have done the work of audio re-engineering what the fuck was done to that shit, because I couldn't. Because it wasn't always just reversed, which made it harder.
Yeah.
Like the people, like the creators of Gravity Falls, put some wild fucking Easter eggs in that shit. I still haven't gone through all of it because I was one of those insane people who was like, yeah, everything is on the wiki, but also I want to find the clues in the episode, so I'll just go frame by fucking frame and do the code words and the you know. The find the keys to uncover the next. Yeah, it was wonderful. I should finish that sometime. I mean, I've finished the show. I just haven't finished digging through everything with the fine comb. Yeah. But it's delightful. Oh, such a good finale.
I want to go and watch that one.
You should.
It also crosses over with. It crosses over minimally with Rick and Morty.
Oh right, yeah, I've heard that, and then I completely forgot to pay attention and never noticed when I was watching Rick and Morty, I think. It also crosses over with Owl House because I think that's the ex of the showrunner who show ran that. But I still haven't finished Owl House anywhere near the end. No, I'm still early days on that one.
All right, so
didn't stick immediately.
This is the only episode of the original series in which we see the fully fledged United Federation of Planets flag. Previous appearances, such as the Menagerie Part 2, simply used the pre-existing United Nations flag. Yeah, this flag is
fine and better in some ways. I mean, it's kind of lazy to be like, yeah, it's what grew out of the UN. Very optimistic. I like that sort of optimistic future prediction thingy, but at the same time, this is worse, just design-wise. Yeah.
They basically wind up taking the UN globe again with the leaves on the sides. They basically take that back and then like make it look like a sector of space and then like have different planet points.
Yeah. Make it look like a map. That's cool. I was also instantly, upon seeing this flag, like, okay, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Why are there 13 stars? That was my instinct, where I was like, okay, it doesn't have to mean anything, but also we know there weren't like 13 founding members of the Federation.
That was how many women Kirk has kissed on the show so far.
What a coinkadinky.
I have no idea if that's real, but that'd be funny if it was.
We should count just to be safe.
Yeah, I don't know. I think they really rack up in season 3.
Oh, they will. I'm sure they will.
And he only kissed 18, so you'd estimate
that we'd be not at 13 yet. Because that would mean
not.
Only 5 kisses left.
Yeah, I don't know.
We'll see. We'll keep count from now on just to make sure.
We got a little feedback from Sterling Gray.
Why, hello, Sterling Gray.
Damn. They really had a bunch of children kill their parents.
They did. It was dark when we started.
Yeah.
And then it just didn't stick the landing. Didn't keep that going.
Worse than that, the kids killed this episode too. I'm a jerk for criticizing child actors. But they really took me out of this episode. The fist shaking.
Oh, that was not the problem for me. Like, some kids did the fist shaking much more convincingly than others.
Yeah.
But the problem was in the writing stage.
Oh, yeah.
Like, those kids did what they were asked. Yeah. I'm not mad at them.
Yeah, I didn't think the kids were that bad. Fist shaking in general.
Like, most of them were appropriately creepy.
Yeah.
Well done.
General bratty behavior just didn't work for me. Yeah, that's the thing though, is like I liked the kids for the most part, like especially the one kid that was like behind the grate in engineering who was just like looking through the slats and like
that's the one I was thinking of, who was shaking his fist
God.
Really angrily, like he could have killed someone. That was scary. That was good.
Yeah.
I mean, the crying at the end wasn't like as good from every kid. There were some kids that was like, oh yeah, you got some water on your face, and then there was the girl who was like, oh, someone convinced you your actual parents died, didn't they?
Yeah.
It was one or the other.
Yeah.
Either I've never cried in my life, I'm a tough guy, or it's I don't know what fiction is, and I'm now distraught.
Ooh, yeah.
It worked, I guess. Good actors. Oh. No, I wasn't. The children didn't kill the episode. The episode was long dead.
Yeah. They were doing their best with this really bad episode, man.
No.
Sterling says this episode did get real dark. Kirk beamed 2 red shirts into space.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Oh my God, that was this episode, and it's dark as shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's just those frozen corpses are out there.
Absolutely.
Just Yeah, no, that implodes. Ooh,
Yeah.
nasty deaths.
Sulu was envisioning flying through swords. I thought that was dumb.
Yeah, that was like the worst kind of way to be like, oh no, I cannot veer from this course because I'll run into the swords. I guess it like, I guess it was close to the Suicide Squad credits, but that's about the best I can say about it. It was worse than those credits, to be clear.
I got mad, dude. Like, I turned into my mom while I was watching this episode. I'm like, now your ass damn knows there ain't no damn flying ass swords out there in damn space.
Fair enough.
What in the hell are you so damn scared of? You know there ain't no damn swords out there, Sulu.
Exactly. If it was an asteroid field, if it was something less weirdly stupid and symmetrical and like, I mean, I guess dreams are like that where you like emotionally believe you are in the sword field, the giant fucking swords in space field, but still, it's weird, man.
And then Kirk walked over and said, you know damn good and well there ain't no damn flying swords out there, Sulu.
Yeah, but that's the problem sort of that I had with Uhura as well, where it's like you could have just had them act. You didn't have to show what they saw. You could have just been pointing at the thing that was actually there and been like, what do you mean you see stuff that's not there?
Yeah, but also like Uhura
you look
should have
fine, Uhura. It's okay, you're still hot. Like, God.
Uhura could have also just been like, wait, I've never had a mirror here before. What?
That too. I was like, that's been there the whole time for if she wants to do her makeup? What the fuck?
Yeah. I mean,
this communication lieutenant spot, that's always going to be filled by a lady, so we need a mirror there.
Look, man, you know, hey, if you got your hand on your face all day, playing with that fucking thing in your ear, you're gonna smudge your makeup a little bit. You gotta have a touch
smudge
up.
Your foundation. Yeah, exactly. You're at some point your rouge is gonna be all over your fucking chin. It's fair.
And if your captain is Kirk, you might have a little something else on your chin. Like, when did this ball get here? Oh my god! Oh, there's another one. Oh my god, Captain!
Oh no,
Captain! For fuck's sake!
How did you? Yeah. Sorry, Sterling Gray. You were saying.
Yeah, I was saying something. I don't even know. Good lord.
They killed the episode.
Yep.
Feedback.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
And Uhura thought she was so old that she turned into a salt vampire. Once again, Star Trek posits that a woman's greatest fear is getting old. Kirk.
Yes.
Well, she said she was dying in a horrible way. You know, they couldn't have shown that on the censor
I guess they couldn't have, which is why they shouldn't have. But that's
Yeah. Kirk beamed 2 red shirts into space, left their bodies. They could have delved into real fear and made the children really exploit the Enterprise's crew's fears. But again, seeing the kid shake his fist like he was playing jacks ruined it for me. That is an excellent point. Like, they really could have like dug deeper into.
They could have made it more psychological instead of just, I guess you're hypnotized into seeing illusions now. Mm-hmm. They could have done something there.
Yeah.
So it was kind of rushed in that sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
But again, the shaking the fist, the kids weren't the problem for me.
Yeah, I didn't think so on that one. Did Kirk and Spock resist the children's psycho powers by willpower alone? Spock, I get, but it's not the first time Kirk used sheer willpower to overcome an alien force that wrecked his crew. It's borderline a superpower now. Thank you for that, Sterling.
But also, I didn't get the difference with Spock because I felt like, he's sort of resisting, but then he gives in anyway.
Yeah, he does. Falter a bit.
Yeah. Like, it takes a bit longer, but he still does the same thing everyone else does.
My headcanon is that the kids were way easier to manipulate, and that's why I used the kids. And then, when the crewmen didn't know that it was happening, they were super easy to manipulate for a while.
Yeah, because they're unsuspecting in that moment, yeah.
Kirk and Spock were harder to manipulate because they saw it was started to happen.
Yeah, they saw them shake their fists, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what they were going for. These were, after all, people who, somehow made it into writing for TV.
Sure. But it is one of those things where it's like, okay, but is that clear from watching it? Or should you have written something in there?
Yeah.
I can see what you're doing. And then have the heroic super brain men also succumb.
Right.
There's a way of doing that doesn't involve as much fucking headcanoning because it doesn't quite make sense just watching it.
Mm-hmm. But then again, this is also like while you could say like they had to have had some kind of logic system and they had to have some kind of skill and talent to get into doing this, like also equally in the realm of 1960s science fiction, there were people who were going, who fucking cares? This is a kid's show, crank it out and get a paycheck.
Fair enough. Sure.
I don't know which one this was.
And we still have the everlasting issue of nepotism. You just got your way onto the show, and it doesn't matter if you have that much talent or skill. So yeah, which
that'll
are
likely be a thing.
Things.
Likely be a thing until the human race dies out.
Which the way we're going about it might be soon. Yeah. Might be sooner than we think.
And might be because of that. Who knows?
We'll see.
All right.
Tune in next time.
Hey,
for more news on whether or not the human race has died out.
Next time on the Star Trek Universe Classic Watch Rewatch, Brain and Brain. What is brain? Join Effie and
Couldn't tell you.
As we try to figure out where in this whole galaxy are we going to look for Spock's brain. It's been a long road, but the time has almost come, dear listener, for Effie to experience what many condemn as the worst episode of Star Trek, 306, Spock's brain. For my money, I think it may have been this one we just talked about.
Yeah. I'll get back to that next episode. Yeah.
Yep. Until next time, Jolan True, live long and prosper, and of course,
eat a dick, people. Eat that dick, or I'll shake my fist until you do.
Star Trek Universe is produced by Matthew Carroll and David C. Robertson. If you'd like to hear more from Matthew Carroll, check out all of his podcasts at strandedpanda.com. And go look for his music by searching Matthew Carroll wherever you get music. He did the theme for this show. Find out more about Effie Ophelders and her writing at euphemia.ophelda.rs. And if you want more of me, David C. Robertson, you can find links to my other podcast, DC On Screen, my poetry, short stories, photography, artwork, and my free all-encompassing weekly/semi-weekly newsletter at davidcrobertson.com. All links are in the show notes. If you'd like to reach out and have your voice heard, email us StarTrekUcast@gmail.com.